you will extend a life not in months but in years. That's where I finally succeeded in 1999, called green Xyme, which is a trademark. So go from here. Thousands and thousands of papers are written, just PhD paper all over the world. Europe, American, Russian, China, over 100 PhD papers. Now this paper, I pick it here today. Why? Because Professor Oida, I don't know her, but she's from your country, so you can contact her, and she will tell you how great this thing is when she do her study. Like I told you before, I got my PhD in Texas A&M University in chemical engineering and biomolecular engineering. First job without chemical. I was so proud of my job. I have 45 patents without chemicals, including a lot of the surfactants. Now I hate the word surfactant. When I see the word surfactant, that means you go to the formation, instantly react with the oil. And the surfactant disappear. You become part of the oil. And there's no clear boundary. You cannot separate the surfactant. And when you take the oil to the refinery, it damages the catalyst, the FCC, fascinating catalyst. Can you hear me? Yes. All right, let's get this on. All right, so very quickly, I invented a lot of chemistry, surfactants for chemical treatment called ASP, alkali surfactant polymer, and I no longer trust those anymore. So this is a new bioenzyme. Now what is a bioenzyme? Now let me give you an example. A chicken lay eggs. If you use a chicken method for Eeor, it's called micros, M-E-O-R. But what does the chicken do in the formation? You have to be very favorable condition in the ground, like temperature, pH, everything perfect. Otherwise, half the wells are not working with bacteria. The bacteria is living, go down, lay some egg. The egg is inside. I say, oh, why do I need to put bacteria to the formation if I can man-made in factories or ground? I take 4 years to succeed that. So what is micros and enzyme? It's like chicken and egg method. I'm using an egg method. All right, let's go. Now, where do you use this? Mature oil well. All oil wells. When you first drill it, you gush out the oil. It's called primary recovery 1.5. What do you mean 1.5? 15% of all the oil in the ground will come out. Average. Then it didn't come out. What do? That means the ground don't have pressure. Now produce water. Pump, 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 pump. Force the ground to a pressure. This is called secondary recovery, another 15%. So 100% of oil formation, after primary and secondary recovery, you have 30% gone. Now, no more. No matter how much water you pressure, it didn't give you any more oil. So you go to chemistry, ASP, alkali surfactant, SA, caustic, hydroxyethyl hydroxymethylmethylate. I was the father of those methacolates. Then you make the oil so gooey, like super glue. It's an ugly oil. Once you do chemistry, it gives you another 15%. So after 3 treatment, you have about 45-50%. No more. No matter how much sweater you have, no more. Sorry. Close, shut in, close, bed. You close well. Now question is there any oil still in the ground? Sheila? No. All the wells you shut in, they are more than 50% of oil are still there. The question is, you have free trials. They all didn't produce anymore. Now guess what? This method is 10 times, 100 times better than surfactant method. But using this method, whatever the oil didn't come out after this, typically 20 to 30% more coming out. In other words, after green side treatment, your ground has only 30 to 40% oil left. Who say this? Now, academics, researcher, papers all over the world written about this. I can refer you to read those. The good thing about it is you don't need to write anything here because the whole presentation, PowerPoint, will be given to you. If you leave your name and communication, and they will give to you. So don't write anything. You can go home and review and ask all data they will give to you. Over G, okay? Memory. Next. All right. People say, oh, magic. Harry Potter. Now, what is the secret? And when do you rescue your oil? Now, you rescue your oil when you do a new well, you don't do anything because there's this primary recovery. After 15% primary recovery, you don't do anything. The next 15% is called secondary. Cheapest is using water. To pump water, you get another 15%. Now, you wait till you drop to 40% to 20% of your initial data. That's what you need rescue. What do you mean? Like day one, I have a 100 lumber coil, 100 production initial. It could be tons, barrels, or any lumber. Coil 100. Now when you drop to 40 from the 100 to 20 of the 100, I call it cancer stage 1. Now we all know when a baby was born, baby is always healthy. Even the cancer was hidden. When the baby was 30, still healthy. It's a primary recovery. 40, still healthy. 60, it's like 40% initial. They assume a human being, baby live 100 years. Cancer come out. Not everybody, but mostly the cancer will be so small, smaller than a sesame seed. Don't sweat. Easily remove and treatable. You can have another 50 good years. But you said, no, I'm not going to do anything. I'm still, 40% of my initial production. You wait 1 or 2 years. It accelerates. And then it become like walnut size. I call it stage 2. You drop from 40% initial IOOP to about 20%. Now you still have hope. Walnut size, please. surgically, chemically remove that, you still have a 10 good years, 20 good years. But when it was stage 1, you might have 50 more years. You wait till a walnut size, you might have 5, 10 good years. But when you don't do anything, you wait till an orange size. Sorry, they thought I said you have 3 months, 6 months to live. This is exactly what happened here. Let's see. Now, we're going to go over here. Okay, I go here's interesting. Where's Nigeria? Nigeria's today's production. Every barrel of oil your cost is about 30 some dollars. Not the cheapest. Saudi Arabia, they're $10, $15. Not the most expensive. You go to Norway, North Sea, they're $50. So oil is a very precious resource. Don't let it die on you like cancer. You want to make full use of every drop of oil to benefit your people and your country. Now, oh shit. I go back. Where should I end? Come on. Remote. All right. 5 minutes. Philip, how do you invent this green side, this egg method? Well, you have to fulfill 3 criteria. It must be non-toxic. If it's the best in the world, animal touch it, human touch it, you get sick. You cannot do it. This is verified by European Safety Council. Non-toxic. This is the most important oil insoluble. All those chemistry, they are oil soluble. Soluble in oil. This thing will not be soluble in oil. Because it's not soluble in oil, there's no chemical reaction with this DNA molecule with oil, so it is a catalyst. The secret is the word catalyst. And then what is this catalyst? Now, this molecule I choose is actually DNA molecule. We all know a chicken egg is DNA. A chicken egg will not be afraid of any chemistry, like acid or caustic. This thing, how do I do it? Let's go one more. First of all, I make a water soluble with DNA protein, man-made. That means it's not living. You say, Philip, you are playing God. You can make one like that? Yeah, I can make that, but I'm not God. Take for example, have you ever drank soya milk? It is a vegetable with DNA, but it's water soluble. How do you know water soluble? Well, I have an H plus, means ionic. OH minus means ionic. Means this thing is infinitely soluble in water. All over the chain, it has something like this. Somewhere here is what we call active site. Now what is this active site looks like? C-A-T-T-C. Exactly, you cannot change the order. The DNA sequence. Now what does that do? The active site is not what I want for my product. I want something else. In nature, in Lagos, in the beaches, you spill some oil or bury some oil in the sand, no sweat. Even heavy oil. 3 months, 6 months, you go there every month, check it, it's gone. A few months later. Why? Because nature has something called oil digesting bacteria. Bacteria. It's like chicken, not egg. Okay. Now those eat the oil and lay an egg, and the egg is an enzyme that can release the oil. That's why you don't see the oil anymore. So we have something like this. One of the things is the oil-eating bacteria is like a snake. You see a snake, don't be afraid. Because the only place the snake can harm you is the mouth. The mouth, the red part. If you can grab the neck, oh, pretty baby, very smooth, nothing can harm you. Now this oil-eating bacteria has a red portion. It has a DMA, but it has one capability. Anytime when the sand was surrounded by oil, it penetrates into the oil layer. It has the ability to do that. Otherwise, it wouldn't be eating the oil. Now, I want those. So next, I do something like this. I do DMA transfer. You say, Philip, what do you mean by DMA transfer? I mean, this used to be the mouth of the snake. This used to be the man-made protein. I do transfer. So the bacteria, the snake, losing its mouth, it cannot digest oil anymore. It cannot harm anything, but it's living. The other protein man-made, I use example, it's like soya milk, but it's not soya milk, okay? But it's non-living. So this is the only product in the world. Every cc has 500,000 molecules of living remnants of the oil-eating bacteria, which is inert right now, and another 500,000 molecules of man-made protein. Now, what does that do? Now, the background is formation. There's a lot of water, and then this portion is a remnant of this portion is a remnant of the snake. It's not doing anything, living. This portion can penetrate. How? See the molecule? Now here's the interesting part. This molecule want to penetrate anytime it saw oil. These two refuse to get to touch oil. Why? Because these two are ionic. This is organic. In your high school, you know that. Organic, ionic, they do not react. But these two say, I don't want to go in. But this part say, I don't care. I want to go in. So it forces itself in. With these chains tying them, it can drag in. Now, next slide will be very, very phenomenal. Nobody's doing anything. These two baby here hate to be inside an oil layer. So what do? The naughty boy, like elephant in a candy shop or in a glass shop, damage everything they can. So they were doing vibration, kicking, jumping all over the place. How? We see how we do this. They do this. You say, Philip, this H and OH minus jump over the place. What do? They release the oil. They release all the oil from the surface. So the surface is clean. There's no more oil. It looks like this layer is surrounded by the green side. Actually, it's not. These are moving with the water. Now, how do you know this is a case? We're going to prove that. How do you prove that? We take a picture of this, put some heavy oil, put some green side at 10%, shut the camera, every 15 seconds take one picture, and then shine some light. After taking thousands of pictures, like movie, play it back. And this is what happened. But nobody moved anything. We're going to shot the pictures, thousands of them, and then play it back at 30 pictures per second. See what happened. Now, touch this one. Hello, help me. Hey, touch this one. Now she, what? Oh, touch the bottom. Watch. Do you see how violent the reaction is? It's like firecracker. Nobody move anything. But when the enzyme penetrates the oil layer, the H and OH plus and minus do all the kicking and release the oil. I was the first to observe this force in 1999. Now I have not done further study. Whoever study what is this force, this is a PhD paper. I guarantee you, you can win Nobel Prize in chemistry. If you study what is a force that can do this without studying. All right, next. It looks like this. Green side is a liquid with DMA. 500,000 FCC has 500,000 living innards of bacteria in it. 500,000 of dead inside, like eggs. Wow, this is shocking. When your formation sand will look like this with oil. You take this, put it in instantly, just like those firecrackers. This happened. You say, oh, this happened. What happened? Do you see the top oil? And this green side has a complete clear boundary. That means the green side does not dissolve into the oil, and the oil does not dissolve in green side. So this green side is completely free of oil, so it's continually working in the formation. All right. Now this is how it happened. When the dark oils kind of become small oils, and then they're lighter than water, like the green side, they'll rise to the top. So you got these 4 bottles like this. This is a microscopic wheel. See the little green size can release, the small one join the big ones, and the big ones all rise to the top. See that? Like bubble rise to the top. Now I'm going to go a little bit different. Now it was stored in these plastic drums or IBC. Each land well, you only need 4 drums. Inject, dilute to 2 to 10% by produced water, inject into formation. Immediately, wait 3 days, you have double or triple the production immediately. When do I do this? Remember I said at the beginning, when the initial day 1 number, how much oil, and today maybe 10 years, 20 years, how much oil? 40% initial day to 20% of initial day. Do this, miracle happen. See, these are papers, SPE papers. See the oil look like that? The green side molecules reduce it, release it. You can read those SPE papers. Now, you don't have to write down number because you can have a whole copy of this. You see, this is the oil in the sand, and this is the whole thing come out. See that breakthrough? Oil is missing. Oil is missing. This is sand, like the size of sesame. All these oils are released. It's 4 bottles, now you understand. Now, the most important 4 grasses start right now. If you haven't learned anything yet, the next 3 grass, if you understand, you'll be an expert to save your country extra oils in millions and millions of dollars. Now watch this graph. Case 1, when you drill a new well, you already know the formation, seismic graph. You said, okay, it's going to be 30 years natural degradation, like those broken red line. It will decline by itself, 30 years. But this is ideal. Now, in this case, do you see the red line? The green line is slightly below the broken line. That means your actual production is slightly less than what you predicted theoretically, but it's very good. How many percentage like this? Every 10 wells, 20%, 2 wells will perform like this. Next. This one, do you see the green line is above the broken line? That means your prediction is better than your prediction. Every 10 wells, there's 1 well like this. You say, wait a minute. You only say 1 wells, 2 wells, 3 wells. What about 6, 7 wells? Well, how do they behave? Unfortunately, they behave like this. You hold 30 years. It started a good number, truck to Shiloh. Now panic comes in. Come on, Ashija. Come on, Heat. Come on, Corset. Come on, Polymer. Fail. Let's try something. Oh, it work. You're very happy. Go up. So we keep on like this. Majority of the oil well will behave like this. In other words, 10 wells, at least 5, 6 wells will perform like this. Now, are there any difference between this case, that case? If you use green side, the answer is no. They all can be rescued. Now let's see how to rescue this case or that. Now let's see. Remember I told you this green line is supposed to be 30 years. But here, there is 80% drop. When you drop to 80%, go 4 drops of green side. Dilute 2 to 10%. So you rescue right here, 80% drop. Now, wait 3 days into V rebound. That part V2 is about 80% of your. Hello. All right. So you do a really bang. Guess what? You get 80% of day 1. Although that's several years later. Now you wait till you drop to the red line. Don't wait. Otherwise you will die on you. Could go down like this. But if you do another 4 drums, it shoot up 80% of what? Not the day 1. But this number, previous number, 80% of that. When you drop at, 80% of this. When you drop at, you raise up 80% of this. And the 80, or 5, 6 drop is close to, increase close to your marginal, so let it die. And when you let it die, your broken line will be way right here, and then you find out you extended the life 3 to 10 years. That is the powerful point. If you can do this, imagine how many oil you can save for Nigeria, for your country. No. Now let's see, Philip. You say like this. Can you prove to me anywhere in the world that something like this happens? All right, yeah. Let's take a look at this. All right. SPE present worldwide. Single well. 6 times. Every time rescued with 4 drums diluted to 10%. It broke the SPE, Society of Petroleum Engineers, world record. One single well increased 682,000 barrels. So you say, Philip, what is the cause? Well, 682,000 times whatever price today, say $40, $50. That's a hell of a lot of millions. How much the green side costs? The total increase, the value, less than 1% is your cost of treatment like this. In other words, if you have a big well, I hope you are the hero of this. If you don't do this, it will die on you very quick. So every one of you can be a hero. See? These are the date, what year, and what number. These are presented numerous times in South America and in North America. I'm not sure in Africa, but in Europe. Presented. The well is in Venezuela, Padavisa. Now, any recovery using this method, water, flooding, injection well, etc. Now, these are small wells. Well, Nigeria don't have land wells are not that small. Your land well average about 500,000 range. Your offshores average 1,500 to 3,000. These are Indonesia. Before, after. So before, how many barrels a day? Because a new well is only about 200. So before and after, you compare these two numbers, less than 3 years. Now think about this. Don't underestimate 98, let's call you 100, and then you got 160. So every day, 80 barrels extra for 3 years. So 80 times 3, which is year, times 365 means days, times $50 means dollar per day. You can tell a small wells like million. You're not doing anything, you will die in 6 months. Shut it in. Now, I was told by an engineer in Nigeria, the Western companies, I don't want to criticize Shell Oil, which is a major producer. They do not want to do this kind of hard work. They think, oh, Nigeria, a lot of offshore, onshore. If they produce 40% left from initial shut in, so some of the wells you have 120 barrels a day shut in. Some of the offshore you have 750 shut in. Now, if you give me the 750, I can bring at least 10 to 20 million US dollar extra oil with 3 to 5 more years. I will not let it shut in. The land well, if you have a 50, 75, or 120 shut in, I'll give me that well. I'll give you at least 3 million, 5 million more dollars, US dollars of oil. I will not allow that shut in. So hopefully, you know why every one of you can be a hero to save your natural resources. Some more. Keep on. Offshore oil well too. Indonesia. All right. Let's go here. You can do this in water flooding well. You can do this after primary or secondary recovery. You can do this when you drop to 40% of day one, or 50% of day one, or 60, or even 80% of your day one. Don't wait after 80. If you're 99%, left only 1% of the initial day one. Don't do it. It's a cancer at the size of a big apple. Too late to surgery. This is like surgery. Now, if you have oil well, you get questions. Oida will ask you to fill in this form, and then they will respond to you immediately, tell you how many drums of green side do you need. Typically, in an oil well on land, 4 drums average. Offshore, 12 drums average. Dilute 2 to 10%. Pumping into formation. Close the well for 3 days. Resume production. Miracle happen after 3 days. Now these are criteria. The bigger the offshore, onshore, the better. How do you pump it down? Any pump. Piston pump, any pump. Like this pump, the green size here, diluted, and then you pump for a casing. So pump for a casing. The pumping rate is not important. Dilute 2%, 3%, 5%, it doesn't matter. Because by the time you pump to the formation, they all become ppm level. Because formation water is huge. All right. How many drums do we need? Vertical well, typically 4 to 5 drums. Horizontal well, 8, 10 drums or 12 drums offshore. You say, what is the cost? 12 drums can bring you $5 million oil. You calculate the cost of this. Sir, you're paying 1% of the cost of the oil. You say, oh, I'm not going to do it. Well, you're not going to do it. 3 months, 6 months, it go down to zero or marginal. You just waste your country's natural resources, and then you cannot be a hero because you diagnose the oil has a big cancer like apple, and you don't do anything. But if you do something, you extend the life of your well. Typically 3 days. If your oil density is high, not more than 7 days. Shut in. Now, before you shut in, you measure what is the static oil level right here. After oil treatment, when you shut in 3 days and you open it, this oil level go up. Sometimes it go out of the ground, self-gassing. If it happen, don't do anything. Then you finish gassing. And then adjust your pumping rate, not based on this level, but based on the new level. Because the formation release so many oil by green side, it's telling you, please pump it out, please pump it out. Okay? So this is how great this technology is. Now, see how many SPE papers we've written? All of them on green side. See the environmental study. You don't even harm a minnow, you don't harm a fish. Safe. See all these case study reports. So you will have this copy and then check those SPE paper and read them carefully. Now, this is the best PhD paper on green side. 300 some pages. Oh, so detailed. It has a name and you can check them. Now, there's a lot of Chinese paper, PhD students all over the world. So I'm not going to read them anymore. It will keep on going. They're all papers. Finish 1 hour. Thank God. There's a lot of material behind that. 3 times, 4 times. It was in PowerPoint. And all that will give you a copy. Make sure for your own sake, for your future's classmate, friend's sake, for your engineer's sake, get one of the copy. I'm open for question right now. Any question, just raise your hand and tell me. Well, you gotta have some question.
Okay, yeah, thanks for the presentation. I would like to know, is this used for heavy oil as well? Because I joined a little bit late. So is it used for heavy oils?
Question is green side good for any type of oil? Any type of oil means API 11, 12 with high sulfur or light oil API 38 like West Texas Intermediate. The answer is yes. Green side is particularly strong with heavy oil. A density is 0.95. That's a matter. Or API 8, density 1.05. When the oil is at the bottom, water is at the top, the worse. It particularly love high wax, high paraffin. Think about the chemistry you're gonna waste with high wax. So when you have high wax, the only solution in the world is this. Green side loves. And the oil there that will provide all any amount you want, just remember dilute to 2 to 10%. You don't need technical help. You know how to pump water into formation. That's how he does. And shut the well for 3 days. And you will be a hero for that well and save your money for your national treasure. Thank you. Anyone? Now, I'm hard to come by from all the way to Houston for 20 hours. So you better ask a question now.
I came in a bit late, so maybe I must have missed that. But what's like the highest percentage of improved or increased oil recovery using this?
All right. Good thing. Good thing you come late, but all that leave your name, they'll give you a whole presentation over 1G. The highest one presented numerous times, over a dozen times in SPE keynote speakers all over the world. It's one land well in Petawisa in Venezuela. 6 times injection. Every time it dropped to about 40%, 20% initial production. You inject 4 drums. Listen, it increased 682,000 barrels over several years. Now, what is the cause of 24 drums 6 times to 6 times 4, 24 drums green side? Answer is you sell the 682,000 barrels of oil and you find out the cost is less than 0.1%, the green side. Understand? So you say, I don't do anything. Oh, sure, you don't do anything. It's like cancer, like the grapefruit apple side. You don't want to go surgery. The world's going to die on you 6 months or less. But if you do this, every well can be extended 3 year to 10 year extra life. Even the best, the worst scenario, your 30 years should go like this, natural degrade, but you don't do like this, drop to that. 2 year drop to that, drop to that. You still can save that well long time. The secret is write down initial day 1, what is that number? Call it 100. Today, what is that number? Do not wait till at least 20. Okay? Then you can save the well. Now, if you say, I don't want to do 20, I would wait till it go from 100 day 1 to today 5. Don't do it. You're too late because it was an apple-sized cancer. Very long. Fortunately, over 5 years. That's what they are hopeful. Any other questions? So you're not late because they will give you the leave an email. You'll be so lucky. Refer this. If my health's good, next year I'll be here. I want to see you tell me you increase 200%. All this green side. They're not talking about 10%, 20% increase. No. All our success wells are 200%, 300%, that kind of increase. How long? 3 years, 10 years, depending on your water cut. Okay? Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
If we have such percentage of recovery, like a very good percentage,
Yeah.
then why do we find most awesome producing companies refusing to venture into this to increase like to get the oil after they've done primary and secondary recovery.
Now, listen. Will you agree with me? The cancer is bad for human beings. A lot of people die on older age because of cancer. Babies seldom die of cancer. A well newly drilled is like a baby, very healthy, can grow very well. Now, cancer only appear to human health is at a later age, like 60, 70, 80. Those are accelerated. Now, when you're young, you don't need cancer. Baby don't see cancer daughter. But seldom, baby, very seldom, maybe less than 1%. Oil is like this. They want, it's like baby. All the formation water gushing out, crashing out. But when you didn't gush out, it's called primary. You will not gush anymore. How many oil do you come out? 1/5. 85% still on the formation. What do you do? Everybody know how to do it. Don't do anything stupid. Pump water. Water. And the more the better. The ground is like balloon. Wow, a lot of pressure. And squeeze the oil out. That's called secondary recovery. 15%. So tooth recovery, you get 15, 30. The oil, the ground still has 70% oil. Tertiary, everybody think about chemistry. Chemistry help. Surfactant, acid, caustic, polymer. Yeah, you squeeze it, you damage a lot of oil because it react with the oil. Then you get another 15%. Minimum, the ground still have 50 to more than 50%. Don't do anything. You can. Because no matter how you do, you already, after all this chemistry, they will not give you anything. You have to close it. Think about how much waste you have. You have several $1 million of oil still missing. But you say, how about using green dye? We don't care before you use polymer chemistry, or you just, after secondary, use green dye. Boom! The oil was so much, which is so many times. Your remaining formation is less than 50%, way less. China say at least 20% of the so-called non-recoverable oil can come out. Non-recoverable means no matter what you try, it will not come out. This can. Now, 20% or even 10% over that well is a big waste in the formation. So that's why even at land well, you'll be a hero to your company. We have 3 million extra oil from your treatment. $5 million easily, especially your offshore oil. When Shell shut down with 1,000 or 750 barrels a day, they shut it down. Give you that well using this, you at least get $10 million or $50 million out of that. And that is a waste of resources. Once you get it, they put cement block, and you can never open it again unless you go to the neighborhood and do a new one, which is very expensive. All right? Now, I want you, if next year I'm still healthy enough to come back here, and my agents want me to come, I want to hear your success story. They already did success story, not because I say here. Oida did beautifully last year, 3 wells, and they produced beautifully. Not like you're thinking, oh, my wells increased 10% extra oil. No, not like that. Or last 6 months. No, not like that. Okay? Now, you might have a lot of doubt, but the PPD, PowerPoint, will be given to you. Make sure you sign your name, and you'll be the lucky few. And I hope Africa, nation like Nigeria, will rest on your knowledge of this technology, and you help your country to conserve the material, which is your oil. All right? So I'm expecting any other further questions unless I'm finished. Make sure leave your name there, okay? Don't forget. Or else you forget what I say in 1 hour. But you go back, you can review 3G, 2G, papers, hundreds of papers tell you where to read this. And man, you'll be an expert. You'll be the world's best production engineer or oil engineer or planning engineer for your country and for your company. Hope some of you, 15 years ago, when I present like this, the largest presentation I ever go is like 800 people, 1,000 people. Next time, a few years later, go back. Oh man, they're all district manager, general manager, all kind of manager. I want to see some of you, help your country and become district manager, hire, superintendent this and that. You will. If you remember what I show you this and read the PPT, you will advance your career very quick. Very quick. All right. Any more? Those late, come on, don't worry. Leave your name, they'll give you a PPT. What are you missing the last year? This is the best available technology, and you can study them and catch up, all right? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.